All right, you ready?
Yep.
You don't give a shit about like I'm already recording. I'm just gonna like play into it and I'll cut it out. You don't give a shit about like intros or anything. I mean, we could
Uh,
not cut this out anyway. It doesn't even matter because nothing is set in stone yet. But for whoever's listening, welcome to the first episode of the New Internet Order podcast. This is going to be an introductory episode to what we're about and who we are. My name is Holden, and this is Trilly, my co-host, and we are just going to give a quick introduction of ourselves and what we represent and what we're trying to do with this podcast. So if you want to take it away, Trilly.
all right. Bro, my name is Trilly, and I'm a Rumble streamer. I'm the most banned man on earth. YouTube, Discord servers. Been not accepted anywhere because of the things I talk about. I'm censored. I'm canceled. But almost worse, like I don't have like the fame, the notoriety to have back support once I get canceled or banned. I don't do any content for money. I spread messages. I do what I want. I'm a man who does not like being told what to do. I do what I want. And it's in these messages that I showcase onto the world. And yeah. Basically, I'm here to change the world, the internet, our evolution, and many people will not like hearing my message. Many people will attack me and Holden, what we have going on. We're in the matrix. People are, they have spoons in their life. They have limitations. We are here to say there is no spoon. There is no limitation. People have, there's people who have victim mentalities, low vibrational. They blame Satan. They blame Jews. We're here to transcend all of that. These people will have no. If you follow us, you will have no excuses to worsen your life. You'll only better your life if you join the new internet order. That's what I'm here to do. And if I succeed, if I succeed, fail, it doesn't matter. At least I'm doing what I want to do. Succeed or failing, we'll see where that takes. But yeah, that's what I say. My introduction.
That was a great one. I'll say for myself, I kind of grew up in the middle of nowhere. I was always extremely fascinated by the internet, and I was certainly raised by the internet. I was inspired by some of the best and most controversial creators growing up, and all of those people really shaped and molded my mind into who I am today, my personality, my beliefs. And as the years went on, I just saw the internet go to shit, and it got worse and worse. I saw, these very same content creators I love either die or get banned, and it was looking pretty grim for a few years. And very recently, I have been on Discord, which I never was growing up. I met Trilly, and I got to know about his ideology, his content, and I immediately became a fan, and I was inspired to help his message, which I really support. His truth appeals, his ideology about seeking truth, like representing freedom and not being controlled. And I truly believe in that from the bottom of my heart. So I will do what I can to push him forward and push that message forward, as it benefits me. Because if a world exists where these messages can't be put out on the internet, I don't even want to live in that world, and I'd rather die trying to push that forward than live in this fake ass internet world that we're currently in. But yeah, I'm not too special of a character. I think I'm just very passionate and vocal about what goes on the internet, how different communities are subversive and they're tricking the youth into going down these paths that will not benefit them in the end. And I've met many people online who deal with these problems, and they don't have a real hero to look up to. They don't have a movement. They have none of that. It's not there. It's absent. So I want to do what I can to fix that and try to change the internet back to what it once was, what helped me as a kid. Because it's just very important to me. But yeah, that's my introductory story. Um, I think it's worth addressing what has been going on so far with our journey, because we've been going on since January in different servers, particularly in communities like John Zerkers. If you guys know who he was a very big inspiration for both me and Trilly. We've ran into a bunch of problems just in his community alone. We've hit many roadblocks. We've been silenced. Trilly's name has been blacklisted from any mention in a group chat or a community. We've been treated like shit. Not even for anything objectively true. It's literally just been Trilly's message. So it's been proven to be anti-freedom. We've ran into other roadblocks, such as like just people not believing, and it's already put a database, at least in my mind, of the type of people who are against the message and what's wrong with them, because it always comes to find out that they have something wrong in their lives, which is why they can't believe in it. And I'm just really forward in getting these people to believe in one way or another. Keep moving forward and not be like letting it get to us. Because already we haven't recorded a podcast episode. Trilly has been streaming every day for quite a while now, and he's already known in certain communities. But yeah, we've already faced much adversity from the very same people we thought would be aligned with us. We've been in servers directly related to like freedom of speech, esoteric content, and face persecution in there by the very same people you think would be on your team. It's been quite ironic, and
Hmm.
we're just kind of sick of it. So I think it's today that we start our own thing and build it from the ground up, and not rely on other people who clearly aren't on the same team with the same ideologies. As soon as you ask them certain questions, or you bring up a certain topic, they literally turn into Agent Smith. It's been proven time and time again, hundreds of times on Trilly's stream, and it will happen again. And that's just the way the world works. The truth tellers get persecuted. They nail Jesus to a cross for telling the truth. This is the reality of our world, and we're ready to embrace it and not stray away from it and not compromise. This is what we sign up for. You want to be a truth teller, you're going to end up getting martyred and persecuted for telling the truth. The world can't handle the truth. They killed Michael Jackson for it. They canceled Kanye for it. You know, the world is the world. It's the nature of it.
I like to add that I people do not want to give me the opportunity to give me a platform. They're not looking out for up and coming people. They do not care about helping others. They're not genuine about it. It's all a money game. It's all politics. It's all this and that. I strive for making a community of movements where no one will be. I will not leave anyone in the dark. Everyone shall get a platform. Everyone should have a chance to do what I do, or do what they want to do better, have help. That's what I'm here for. Everyone else blacklists me, doesn't want to help me. But I'm here to help the ones in need who are not helped by anyone else.
Hmm. That I would say to that too. That was my appeal. The first day I met Trilly. I was always interested in, being a part of a movement, and the server I was in, Active Minds, it was called. there was a streamer very similar to Trilly named Chief Dapper. And I was a supporter of him in the sense where I would tune into the streams. I would, try give input, send videos for him to react to. I always wanted something like that. Uh, and with that, I was kind of blocked by a wall where he is kind of streaming and I'm in the chat. I can't access him, but with Trilly, I can actually stream with him and be a chatter at the same time. And it was like a life-changing experience, like me being able to do stuff on the stream and make the stream as a viewer, not even being the content creator. And it was like an amazing idea, amazing journey, because everything I was doing and saying is being recorded, being clipped, being edited. I can go back and see what I did and I can give my input. And I think it's like he's the first guy to kind of do that in the sense and not have the ego to be, oh, I'm an authority, you have to listen to me. Like he's there on the ground with the people. Like it's a what they call a grassroots movement. He's not in here for an agenda. That's the way I saw it. He's not trying to, I need money, I need these viewers so I can afford air conditioning and a nice bed. It's like, no, like he's doing this for the love of it, for the love of streaming, for the love of the truth. He's in VCs all the time, trying to push the message to the very same people who can view his stream. So it's one of its kind. Like I never saw anything like it. Never saw something so like real and authentic. So I think to keep that energy going is what our appeal should be. Be the realest movement on the internet. Be the most banned. Well, we're not gonna aspire to be banned, but aspire to tell the truth, no matter what it entails.
Mhm. I fucking we here's the secret. The secret is no. Here's the a lot of people don't want to do shit. A lot of people do not want to do shit. That's what I found out here. It's like what I'm doing is nothing special. I have no budget. I am not some. I don't think like I'm special. Really, I just fucking try. I try and I try and I try. I get on the VCs. I make people come in, say their voice, and a lot of people they don't want to do shit. They don't have. They're not content creators. We live in an age where everything you do can be content. People make excuses like, "Oh, well, I don't be a content creator. That's too cringe," or "I don't have the personality for it." It's like, do you not know who are the biggest content creators in the world? It's people with like, if they can get there, why can't you get there? We A lot of people do not want to do shit, and I'm here to find people who want to do shit. Who here is conscious enough to see that we have the power. We have the power as users of the internet,
Hmm.
and yeah, we share. We make power. We share power. We make power. We enhance power. We strengthen power. We are the power, and a lot of people do not recognize that. They do not want to control. They want to be controlled.
Absolutely. I just got the idea to say I think a lot of people underestimate, how important the internet is in our culture really. They really like to downplay it and think that there's a difference between the internet and real life in 2026. As Kanye said, World War III is digital. I think
Mm.
pretty much everyone, even the boomers, are on their phones now. You'll have people telling you, "Oh, yeah, get off your phone, go outside. It's so much better." When you have boomers who spend their whole lives outside and now look at them, they're on their phones scrolling. I think this kind of an ecosystem is to be embraced rather than feared. This is the new era. We were born into this. You can't destroy it. You can't live in opposition to it unless you want to go be Amish, which you weren't born into that. You were born into this system. You have to use the tools required in this system to live. You just got to see things for how they are, and how they are is we are in the internet era, we're in the AI era. Um, I've came across the people on VC in Discord who have lived like the craziest lives, to the point where some idiot normie would think, oh yeah, he wouldn't be on Discord, but no, like they're here with us. Like the people who I've ran into, the stories they tell, it's like, oh my, this how are you here with us? So I think there's a lot of lies being told about how we should be approaching the internet, and that it's people think it's not a central part of our lives, and that what you do on the internet doesn't matter when the internet is molding the next generation as we speak. Information, broadcasting, this is literally the tools of our time to shape the future. There's literally nothing more important, absolutely nothing more important. It is like, it is our world today. We are in the digital era. So I think to move forward is to embrace it and not downplay it and roll your eyes at it, saying, "Oh, the real world is this. It's so much better. Get off the internet." It's like all of you people are on the internet. All of yous. Everyone is interconnected, and everything you do on the internet matters. You know, everyone's like lives get changed from the internet. Even the people who are against the internet. Where did you learn about Ted Kaczynski? Where did you learn about Karl Marx? You learned it on the internet. You didn't go to a library and read a physical book. You saw it on TikTok. You know, how do you rally people to do protests and events? Oh, do you do letters? Oh no, you do it on the internet. I think there's a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of lies that get told to the youth about the internet, and that it's inherently destructive when God says nothing on this earth is bad. Is a sword bad because it can kill someone? No. Is an axe bad? The axe chops trees. It doesn't just chop human legs. Like, it's a tool. It's to be used. Yes, bad things can happen, and something bad may have happened to you, but that doesn't mean it's bad inherently and needs to be destroyed. And you have to recognize it for what it is. And that's why I think I want this podcast to advocate for the good of the internet, and it to rally the youth together who are sick of what's been going on the internet, and strive for something higher, strive for the truth. Be great, be real, uh, be somewhere where you feel like you're part of a team that's actually doing something that matters. That's what's important, not this fake shit. Like, actually feel like you're a part of something greater than yourself.
Yeah, you be included with us, the unemployed, the needs of the world. That's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Many people are caught up, job, school, whatever that keeps them in the matrix. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. If you don't, yeah, me and Holden, we share. We are unemployed, don't have school. We have all the freedom ever. That's
Yep.
why we're able to do this. What we're doing right now. Every innovator genius had this alone free time. Tesla, Nietzsche, whoever. That's what
Yep.
we're here to do.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's like we want to represent the chat. We want to be the spokesperson for the need for the incel, uh, just the internet user, right? The average guy. That's what we want to be. We don't want to abandon you. We don't want to disavow you, like Clavicula, like many of these people. Temptations will come for that, and I think I and Trilly will have to be strong and wise enough to fight against it. But at this current moment, that's the intentions in my heart. I don't want to do this for money. I don't want to do this to be popular. I don't want to do this to get back at someone, my high school bully or whatever. All of these like origin stories that people have. No, I just want to push forth the real on the internet. Push forth what kids didn't have in this generation. You know, if you look on TikTok, there's not much. Reddit gets promoted on the Google algorithm. YouTube silences anything that's like semi-controversial. There's nobody on Twitch uh, that's really telling the truth. Maybe like Asmongold. But essentially, there's a whole generation of young boys right now who are in, middle school, high school, uh, who kind of have a blocked access to the truth, and they're being force-fed propaganda by the system, this current internet order, and we want to abolish that and create a new internet order, the grounds roots one, not funded by Peter Thiel, not psyoped and controlled, literally started from the basement, just two guys, and that's what we want it to be. And we want this first episode here to show that what our intentions are, like who we're trying to reach with this podcast, who we want our audience to be, who the show is for, essentially, not like what we want to do. Oh, I want to go to Japan. I want to own this car. We don't give a fuck about that shit. We don't give a fuck about material possessions. Like, we are not materialistic. We're not Indian. Like, that's not what we're about. And we're just about the message, It's like the Joker says, it's not about money, it's about sending a message. We truly want to see a place, sorry, an internet in the future where, people aren't killing themselves, they're not tuning out, or all of these terrible things that have been happening because of the internet. We don't see the internet as inherently bad because it helped us, it shaped us into who we are. We want to take it back from these people, if that makes sense. You got something, Trilly?
Um, some I don't know. As the message you were saying there, I had a disagreement in my head. I was like, yeah, I don't. My belief is everything is good. Nothing is bad. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, we're we okay. So our beliefs when it comes to religion, spirituality, it's everyone has their own personal heaven. I have the belief of whatever you manifested throughout your whole life here, believing what the afterlife is what awaits you there. Every time you go to sleep, you die. Every time you wake up, you resurrect. Your dreams, that is the afterlife. When you, yeah, that's the afterlife. You will get whatever you manifested onto there. There is one truth in this reality, and that one truth is that there are multiple truths. There's your truth, there's my truth, and
Mm.
yeah, that's the there's no spoon, no limitation. We'll have our own perspectives and truths in this world,
Absolutely.
and the ones who understand it the most are the ones who are individuated. The ones who are not individuated are stuck in this hive mind, Agent Smith, Matrix periodic table.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I think we're not gonna be idealists in a religious sense. But I think it's more about opening up what can be said online. Uh in good spirits, however. We're not trying to be, you know, 4chan dark web kind of freaks. At least for me, I kind of have always preferred what is on the front page, like what are the youth actually interested in. And I think that's taken like many forms over the years. Like we had the red pill wave in 2023, where literally everyone, in high school was caring about, at least the young men. This is a movement for young men. The Andrew Tates, the Sneakers, the John Zerkers. And before that, you had figures like Leafy, Filthy Frank, iDubbbz. Before that, you had like Smosh. You had PewDiePie, you had Nigahiga. These people who captivate the minds of all the young men in the US or the UK, the entire Western world, essentially. What do people actually care about and why? I think that's what matters. What are the big questions? Not what's being talked about in an obscure form that never actualizes. Yeah, it's what is controlling the current generation of the youth and why. And we just want to open up the floodgates for that for the rest of the youth who can't access that yet, whether they're stuck, being force-fed propaganda, or they're surrounded by people telling them one thing and they don't have access to the other side. Just those kind of people who need the message the most. They need the white pill. They need to see a hero, something to believe in, essentially. They don't have anything to believe in. The people who watch like Moist Critical and play Valorant, these kind of people, these are the people who we want to help. These black pill doomer types. And obviously, we're not going to convert everyone. I don't even think we'll convert more than 10%, but that 10% will do more than the 90% of the people who just sit around and do nothing. I think we only want to recruit other real people to this movement, and not have fence sitters and parrots and the type of people who aren't really of any value. We're okay with being a quite small movement, so long as it means we only are surrounded by the real. That's the most important thing. No compromise, no fakeness, no artificially extending our lives just for the sake of it, no selling out. Would you think truly it'd be worth talking about like the evolution of our belief systems growing up as individuals, like both me and you, like what we kind of believed in at certain times of our lives and what helped us and where we are now?
Yeah, I'll go first. Um, as I was raised not religious. I had, I guess, like my mom, she believed in the Christian God. I was not taught anything. I grew up very, uh, like atheist. My brother, he was really obsessed with NASA. He didn't believe in God. He saw outer space as disproving this like Abrahamic like God in the books. So I grew up with that like most of my life. I was consuming, mainstream media, just being completely kept up in that system of belief until John Zerka opened up Flat Earth to me. Flat Earth, it was the bridge. It's if the Earth is flat, that means the Bible is real. If outer space is fake, then that's open to the possibility of God, a creator, and us being a creation, us being the center of the universe, us not being some uh, animals that are meant to like die, and a planet that's meant to hit the sun in 1,000 years to come, a meaningless, voidless life. Flat Earth opened the gates to my spirituality. I I then converted to Christianity. Saw the world as the Bible being all true. Um, then as more went on, when I started hanging around religious people and I started noticing the division between denominations and disagreements, and really just um, noticing that the Bible could be subverted like the most printed book, the most talked about book, the mainstream, anything in the mainstream could be corrupted, a psyop, compromised. History is lied about. The winners of history are the ones to write history. So for a long time, I saw the Bible as just full truth, but I will only be a fool if I take everything in that and with the different translations, different traditions, beliefs. Like if I were to take this as just one way to look at the world, if I go beyond that and say I follow my intuition, I follow my heart, I just look around and see the other Christians, like what are they doing? What are they doing? In my part of the tribe, like the more I hanged out with religious Christians, like I found out I wasn't with them.
Mm.
I don't belong here. Spiritual, esoteric Christian is like what I align myself more with, and that is, yeah, my truth not being fully dependent on the book. It's my own book. It's my mind, my thought process, my logic, my way of going about things, my emotions. So yes, I used to be someone who thought reality was objective. It's one truth. It's just the Bible. But yeah, now it's we are all living different worlds, different realities. Your world is a reflection of your mind. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that, that's my belief system going in. It's like a lot of people will not they cannot convert to my side. They need to let go of what's keeping them safe, what's making everything make sense to them. They need a source. They need an authority to stitch everything into place. They cannot unknit the whole entire structure. They will lose their mind. They won't know how to handle it. Me, I can. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's where I'm.
just to cut, sorry to cut you off quickly, but I think Trilly's existence bothers people the most. Like, no matter what situation he is in, what server, what the name is, whether they're Catholics or they're pagans, atheists, you know, when push comes to shove, it's always him, Mr. Subjective, that makes these people feel the worst. He literally exists like outside of the Matrix, and I've seen it time and time again. He like never doesn't play fair. He never attacks anyone first. It always seems to be them attacking him, almost like something's at play. Whether you want to call it the Archons or the Matrix, Agent Smith. It's always very
Mm,
something very sinister that goes on against Trilly, just for trying to find the truth and pushing forward ideas. He's not even not playing unfairly. Not doing anything that's objectively immoral. It's very funny, and uh, we have thousands of clips proving this phenomenon. It's shocking. So even if you're a viewer and you don't agree with all seven truth appeals, um, you should at least try and hold the dichotomy in your head of what if truth is subjective and the earth could be flat for one guy and round for the other, and it doesn't actually affect you. Um, if it bothers you, then that's a you thing, because Truly's existence doesn't harm you. You go.
it's it all comes from my rejection from school. School is telling you do this work, do it one way, view it one way, proceed in one way, and I just reject it. I cannot do it one way. Let me do my way, whatever way, my own thing, what I want. And that's the matrix. They want you to be stuck in that narrow path. As the Bible, Proverbs, like they tell you, like the path to God, heaven is one way, a narrow path. So there are other elements that want to play God and they want you to fall on that one narrow path. And yeah, that's my rejection from the school system. Really, anything. I've been fired for like every job. Like I just do whatever. They want me to stay and be one thing, believe in one thing, do one thing. They want to detach your freedom away. And this is, I'll say, this is what comes with the being a creator, being creative. What is art? I say art is neither good or there's no, yeah, art is bad nor good. Like it's all subjective. Art just is like it, you present it and its interpretation, how it makes you feel, what determines the art. I have a that type of brain. I'm a creative. I'm artistic. I'm an artist. I I'm an innovator. I push. Yeah, you don't have to. I don't want. I'm not forcing you to believe what I believe. You. That's the whole point. I believe in what I believe. Your mind is your mind. My mind is my mind. Therefore, I see no point in judging anyone. We are all here to be happy. We're all here to be fulfilled. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's my beliefs right there. My evolution, my progress.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
I think for me to tell my story, just from the beginning, like I mentioned before, I was immediately from a young age captivated by the internet. Um, I think I had a very modern-esque brain, at least compared to those around me. I wasn't uh, not I didn't capitalize on it in that sense, but I was always on YouTube, always uh so like absorbed by it, and I was taking everything in a way that at least the other kids around me weren't. And it was shaping my mind so rapidly, and it was altering me um compared to my peers. You kind of grew up more old fashioned, whether in front of a TV watching cartoons or being more outdoorsy. I wouldn't call myself a nerd, but I think I was just an internet kid, and I think I was an early adapter of it, or at least early compared to what's going on now, where it's kind of the norm. It wasn't the norm for me. Just for context, I'm a '05, born in 2005. So I kind of got a glimpse of old YouTube, old internet, but just enough of a glimpse for it to shape me, but not enough for me to be a old timer. I've been young in every internet era. I saw what happened in the post-COVID world, how quickly everything changed. So I'm more than qualified to speak on internet affairs, as I've seen it all. But yeah, growing up, just captivated by these figures on the internet, um, and kind of my brain was somehow able to absorb it in a good way, rather than some others who kind of fell for what was in the video. I wouldn't say fell, but I guess they didn't take it properly. And I thought a good example, I always brought this up with Trilly, is something like Sonic Zombies or something. If you guys know what that is, I could try get the video up in post production, get it in editing. But something like that, I think for a mind like Trilly or mine, we were able to just learn a lot from it and understand the jokes in the correct context. Whereas another human, potentially a bit weaker or a bit more vulnerable, would watch something like that and then go on and tune out and become like a furry. And that's why I think for me, to be on the internet for all these years and still stand strong in my beliefs, I think me and Trilly like kind of have the right to lead this movement. We've been around the block and spoken to everyone else who kind of grew up on the internet, and they let it get to them in this way where they're like, "Oh, the internet's bad. Oh, we gotta go outside." And it's like, no, bro. Like me and Trilly, we fucking love the internet. We love this shit. Can't get enough of it. Like this is awesome. This is our generation. If you grew up, 2,000 years ago, you were an explorer or whatever you want to believe about history. Um, I'm not going to make that exact argument, but I'm just going to say that it's undeniable that we're in the internet era, and you have to accept it. You can't just blow up the headquarters of Google and stop everything. Like that's childish, and it's not reasonable. Like you have to make the change yourself on the internet. But back to my story. Growing up, still, you know, captured by the internet. I kind of entered a dark phase where very materialistic ideas had taken over. By that time, I was like being put on medication at school, just like everyone else, for ADHD. Fried my brain. Was watching a lot of Rick and Morty. Pretty fried. And it wasn't until I started smoking weed, of all things, I got really into spirituality and new age concepts, and I got into like spiritual YouTubers teaching conspiracy theories, like methods on astral projection and all these things, and that kind of flipped my worldview upside down and really showed me a way out of that hellhole I was in. And things kept going. I didn't fully adapt all these lessons I was learning. Um, Years went on, the same sort of business was going on. Just like every insecure teenager, going through phases, trying out different things, trying to find their way in the world. And it was like figures like John Zerka, Nick Fuentes, uh, showing me the way out, for me at least, and how to be your own man, uh, the true nature of this world, really. And those kind of influences really inspired me to get out of my current way of thinking and to believe in God and to just see the good in the world, see God, see the meaning. And I wouldn't say my story is something that's very special. In fact, it's a very normie-esque story, but I still think it's valid enough to where a chatter can relate, because we all grew up in this slave system, the education system, the beast system, um, and we just need good people to lead us out of it. And we want to continue doing that for the next generation, help them find their way through where they can go on and do great things and change the world in their own way, just merely by being real. We're not out here trying to do what everyone else is doing. We're not trying to do what Nick Fuentes is doing. We're not trying to do what Zerker is doing. We're just trying to be inspiring and show that there is a way out without compromising that child version of yourself. We're not telling you to do anything. We're literally telling you to be yourself. That's all I want the message of the show to be. It's just like Kanye said, if you're a fan of me, you're not a fan of me, you're a fan of yourself. I think self-development and self-actualization, individuation is some of the most important things. I'm a big believer in that, uh, that it's not about politics and a system change, but rather in the individual. I think you got to make your own mind your best friend. And I think if you can't get there yet, you can use this podcast as a start. You can be here listening. You can even join us. That's what I think it's about. It's like what X said, if you're happy, I can't do shit for you. This podcast is for like those kids right now in middle school, fucked up, like cutting themselves. They got no one, they got nothing to look up to that's like real. Everything around them is fake. They have nothing, and we just got to get through to them.
Every question you have, everything, like we have servers, you can communicate with us. Every other person you look up to, just watch from afar and you just take in whatever. But here we can conversate and talk to you. We are here for you. We any questions, anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're here. We're a community.
Yeah, we're still kicking it. After all these years of all that bullshit, we kind of I would try to put it like this. I think most of the other quote unquote self-improvement figures kind of have their own agenda. They want to buy followers, they want this car, and they kind of use the people as a means to get there. They have something to sell. We literally have nothing to sell. All I want to do is see the internet uh be back to a place where it was, I guess, when I was a little kid. I just want to make my childhood self happy, which entails the future, the next generation of children who I think are currently in a spot where they don't have that. They don't have that free, real internet, especially due to the age of AI that we're in. Um, Dead internet theory. A lot of these things are really creeping up on us and really changing the landscape of the internet, and I guess the what is it called? Not the zeitgeist, but rather like, yeah, what's being discussed online in chat rooms, on Discord servers, on video games. What are the youth interested in and why? And who put them there? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to ask the big questions and try, cut through all the fake shit and bring back the real. Because I think, since 2020, what's happened on the internet is systems have been put in place to try lead the youth one way, and anyone who asks a question about it will get silence. It's authoritative, and we want to represent the resistance movement to that. It's not about. I'll put it simply like this: it's not about whether you believe the Earth is flat. It's about why is it banned on YouTube? Why is flat Earth banned on YouTube? If it was so obviously round, it wouldn't get banned. Why are these subjects banned? That we're trying to ask questions. We're trying to lift the veil. That's what we're here for. We're not here. Uh, this isn't science class, bro. We're not going to teach you about pointing lasers at buildings and measuring curvature. We don't give a fuck about that. We just give a fuck about the truth. And the truth is always more important than science, politics, religion. It goes deeper than that. And that's what we're here for. We just want freedom on the internet, and not freedom in like an anarchy sense where we want to see everything destroyed. And obviously not. Uh, we just want to see the truth, or at least like the battle for the truth, take place and have things be fair, be moral, um, allow like morality. And it's clear like no one else is going to do it because I've been around all of these so-called truth-telling servers, these other truth-telling streamers. They buy followers on Instagram. They get people banned from group chats for bringing up certain subjects. It's always when push comes to shove, these people are not about it. And I've been around the internet for many years, and I haven't seen a figure like Trilly, who really embodies like the trying to find the truth and freedom. So I think like this is really, this podcast was made not for an agenda, but because I looked around and no one else is doing this. Everyone else is compromised, and it's like, okay, if no one else will do it, I'll do it. It's like what Thanos said. It's like the post-credit scene. That's what this podcast is. It's the post-credit scene from Avengers. Is it Avengers or is it Avengers Age of Ultron?
You know,
Yeah, it's that. That's what the thumbnail will be. Bro. It's like my profile picture is like Thanos purple too. Look at it. Look at the color.
this podcast is a white pill. I've this is my 269th stream. I've done so many of these streams, like no chat, no viewers, like barely anyone watching. The people who would only watch is the people I befriend on Discord. I've done so many of these, and I never thought I would meet someone like Holden who like recognizes like what I'm trying to do, what I represent, what I'm striving for, how I'm the one trying and doing what everyone else is not doing. And if you feel you're like me and you want people like I've wondered like is anyone out there? Is any yeah, you again like you can join our community, like we'll accept you. We're all on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a barrier, I guess, to get past, because it's not about whether you believe in the truth of pills. Just like, can you accept them? Can you accept that someone else believes in them, and be okay with that? Because what I've noticed is that it's not even that people disagree, it's that they're unable to handle that another human being has those beliefs. They literally cannot comprehend it, they cannot accept it. They bend over backwards, making up stuff why, and that why truly shouldn't exist. And it's like, okay, well, you're clearly a hypocrite against like what you say, what your beliefs are. Like, I guess truly just the best example of someone whose existence like points out not contradictions, like hypocrisy in others of what they say they believe versus what they do. There's not a phenomenon like it. Like all these people who are fans of John Zerka, fans of these people who promote certain ideals such as like, freedom, being that nigger, telling the truth, being Mr. Red Pill. Uh, when someone comes around who embodies these things, they ban them. It's a joke. It's like no one like that's, I guess, what I want the main takeaway to be of this episode is like, bro, there was no one like we wouldn't be here if there was a community of people like us. Like this isn't your average podcast of two little dweebs who want to be like the Nelk Boys, or they want to be like Impulsive, they want to be this or that. Like this podcast is a necessary thing because there is nothing else like it on the internet. And we've been around, we've been in many different places, talked to many different people, just trying to find that, and it's not there. So it's like, be the change you want to see in the world and create the movement instead of looking to join it. You think there's like much else to talk about? We're nearing an hour.
Uh, yeah, that's pretty good. Like all that introduction, yeah, that was nice. think that seems good enough right there. Like this is just the introduction. The other ones, like we got to come up with
Yeah.
some shit. Yeah, talk about. Yeah, yeah. That's good. Good first episode. Yeah,
All right, you want me to end it there?
yeah.
All right.
Good.